How many clients you had grown within 1 month?
Added 10 clients in 1 month.
Where were you at in your agency when you reached out to me?
I think zero. I knew you were quality for sales. Why don't I just actually go to the guy that knows how to train people up rather than try to like do it on my own and some other crazy stuff. I close a solid amount, at least for like marketing agencies. I have a marketing offer. I close 20%. Like if you pay someone 10 grand and you double your closing rate, and you have your average package is like, let's say 5K per month. You close one person, you just made it back.
Yeah. So James, tell me, I guess, what made you reach out to me in the first place? What made you want to get some help with your sales process?
Listen, I knew you were quality for sales. Obviously, like you've done this a lot of times before. I was like, why don't I just actually go to the guy that knows how to train people up rather than try to like do it on my own and some other crazy stuff.
When you reached out to me?
I think zero.
Okay.
I think I was like brand new.
Okay, awesome. And then I think it was, what is it, 1 month later? Talk to me about how many clients you had grown within 1 month.
So yeah, I added 10 clients in 1 month. So pretty decent, pretty solid growth.
Pretty solid. What was the experience like of like working with me, getting feedback? What was the main thing that helped you from your perspective?
I would say even just like, because I don't know what gaps I had, right? Like if let's say you're playing basketball and you're in a game you're playing and like you're obviously not great, but if you have like an NBA player being like, yo, you need to do this, you just improve so much more quickly. And I would say for me, I know we talked about this, but like building the pain was definitely something I struggled with a lot. So getting a lot of feedback on that, how to implement, helped a lot.
Yeah. Where would you say, just if you look at objectively at your sales calls, like first sales call you sent me, first sales call you recorded to what you're doing now, what would you say about the quality of that call?
So first call, I think it was even like I think I sent the first thing I sent you was like a mock call.
Yeah.
It was something crazy, and it was like I had no clue what I was doing. Even like the way I was like very like uptight because I was like whatever, it's the first sales call. I'm like, but like I just had no clue what I was doing, right? Especially like handling like certain things or like edge cases that barely come up, but even like the basic structure, I had no clue.
And so then what would you say of your calls, like the call you just jumped off with the company for 2 hours?
I mean, the difference is huge, obviously. Like, if I like originally, like, I'm not close anyone on originally, but now, like, I close a solid amount, like, at least for like marketing agencies, and I have a marketing offer, I close 20%, which for a marketing agency, it's decent.
That's really decent considering your main outreach channel is still cold email, right? Which is
Yeah.
extremely cold traffic coming to your sales calls.
Yeah.
And what was the company you're just discussing? What was the size of the package that they were discussing?
I mean, they're huge. I think they said they have like 80 sales reps or something, like something, like they're a huge company.
There we go.
Like, like,
So pitching a marketing agency or a company that's actually got legit numbers behind it. That's pretty massive.
yeah, well, this is a SaaS company, but yeah, like, it's crazy.
Awesome. I'm just looking in school because I want to know the date of when you first posted in there. That first call was the mock call was November 25, and then you posted, yeah,
I'm
that
surprised.
was, well, I mean, you posted like I gave you a lot of feedback in December. Most of these are in December, and then there's been a few in January. But
Yeah, I need to post. I don't know why I stopped posting in there. I'm just gonna start throwing way more in there.
yeah, it helps, right?
It helps a bunch. Like I don't know. I think I just forgot. Like
Yeah. And what would you say was most helpful? Because I know the other thing you did to improve your sales skills was you got a solid role play partner, which I think was Noah, right?
yeah, me and Noah. Well, I was doing them with like I don't know. I hit up a bunch of people. I did it with like 10 people or something.
Okay. So what would you say, just like rank the effectiveness? This is more just for people to know, like the effectiveness of role playing, like live versus having me break down your calls. Like, what is the benefit of each of those, and why would you recommend people do both, or just do one? Could they just do one, or should people do both?
Yeah, I mean primarily the mock call is gonna be like the actual practice. Cause like okay, let me use basketball again. If you watch a bunch of videos on how to be great at basketball and
Right.
you never do it, like that's
Yeah.
fantastic, but you're gonna suck at basketball,
Yeah.
right? And then also, if you just watch a bunch of videos and you go out and you go shoot the ball, versus you watch a bunch of videos and whatever, you shoot the ball and you have a coach being like, "Hey, fix this, do this," who's already done the thing, you just improve way faster.
Yeah. 100%. So people should both role play and watch videos, and get calls broken down, right? Is
And
that what I'm
actually
hearing?
hop on, and actually hop on a bunch of sales calls. That would be
And actually
awesome.
have most important, they should be on a bunch of sales calls. All right, what would you say to someone who was maybe considering getting help with their sales, but was on the fence or was a little bit unsure of whether or not they should, whether or not they should invest in themselves, that type of thing?
It's just like the ROI is usually pretty immediate. Like if you have any volume at all with calls and you let's say your close rate's, I don't know, 15% and you bump it up to 25, right? In a decent amount of time. Like you just what? Fifth you just I don't know what is that, like 60, 70% or something increase in like your overall rev, like and prop like if your company's not absolutely tiny, it's like a no-brainer thing. Like
Yeah, there's not much you can do that's more high leverage than improving the close rate. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing your experience. Anything else at all you'd say?
anything else at all, I would say it's got to improve in the skills. Like sales is obviously a skill. Like paying money to improve, it's gonna make it back way more. You know, like if you pay someone 10 grand and you double your closing rate, and you have your average package is like, let's say 5K per month, you close one person, you just made it back. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because let's say they stay for 6 months.
Yeah. And the thing I appreciate about you is when you came to me, like, I basically like broke down your whole financial situation. I was like, man, what's your runway? All these things. And I appreciate that you, unlike a lot of business owners I see, actually had the courage to take a big bet. And I think that's why you've grown so fast because I see this time and time again as small agency owners or business owners, if they're not willing to invest and take big bets, they just don't succeed. Like you have to throw the dice. You have to take a big bet and bet on yourself. And that's exactly what I saw you do.
Yeah,
So
you
props to
definitely
you.
you have to take a big bet, and you also have to have like a very high risk tolerance. Otherwise, like you're just not gonna make it. Like you need to actually take the risk and actually take the bets and actually have them pay off. I mean,
Yeah, 1000%. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks again for sharing your experience. I appreciate it.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude, anything else I can help with while you're on the call here?
While I'm on the call, let me see. I mean, I don't know. I have a bunch of other calls, but I don't know.
I'm stoked that you're hiring inbox manager. That's awesome. Growing the team, right? Have
It's
you managed to like weed out the like lower margin clients yet?
I just still have. I mean, like it's honestly not very difficult.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's like honestly, like I've slammed my head against the wall so much with cold email now. It's just like, and none of them are like necessarily low margin because they cover the tech, and then I just have a free roll on all the
Right.
calls I book. So it's like, it's just like it's no risk for me, and it's just like I at this point find it very easy to book pretty much anyone a bunch of calls through cold email as long as the TAM's big. Like
Yeah.
so,
That's awesome, man.
appreciate that.
Well, keep up the
Appreciate
great
that.
work. And yeah, drop calls in school if you want to. I will still give you feedback.
My guy, my guy. Oh, you know what? One thing maybe, let me see, that maybe I'm still struggling with a bit is still the pain building. Like, I know we've been through this a lot, but it's like, I don't know. I
It's not
still
just
feel
you.
like, yeah, I know it's really common. It is
It's not
really
just you.
common.
It's everyone in B2B. I'm coaching. I've got obviously other clients in B2B right now. The thing that I've started telling people recently that might help you is it's all about, and I don't know if I've told you this before, but apologies if I have. It's all about like, how can you get out the quantification of what they're doing right now? Like put numbers, put hours, put time around what they're doing right now that's not working. And
Mhm.
that is almost always like try to find a way to make that more expensive than what you're charging. And then you have a really clear, logical shot to closing the deal. Because if they can see, if you can help them see that what they're currently doing, like in your case, if they're not getting enough booked calls that are qualified, like that is costing them money because it means their company's not growing, right?
Yeah,
And so
that's
what's the
true.
cost of the company not growing versus the cost of paying you 3 grand a month or whatever? It's probably like a huge discrepancy, right?
What's your thoughts on like, and I just like made this up, but it's almost like solution hunting or something. Like, because on one of my calls, I think that I showed you where we ended up being like, this is cheaper than an SDR kind
Yes.
of thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I ever built the pain with them, but I found something where like logically it's just cheaper.
Yes. That's
So
exactly
that's
what you want to do. You want to compare it to something that is just way more expensive for the same result or a worse result.
okay. So you don't necessarily need to make them like feel like shit and like fear and like it's just
Yeah.
like you can just find a logical thing.
Yeah, it's either towards a goal or away from pain. Now, if they show up with a bunch of pain, like we can't get anyone on any sales calls whatsoever,
Can't do
right?
that, you know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
can do that. But if they show up with just like, oh, I don't know, we just wanted to hear you out and see what you can do. And like, we're always looking to grow. Like, I had a sales call this morning where the lady was like, I don't really know anything about you. You know, growth is good. We love to grow. Like that type of call. So the way you do that is obviously you like give a quick blurb about what you do, but then you have to like make a comparison of like, well, there's many ways to grow. You could hire an SDR, you could do meta ads, you could do blah, 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 blah. And then you need to contrast and compare and make them realize that your meetings will be some of the lowest cost of acquisition of any other meetings they could get, and for way less work and overhead and stress and headache that they have. There was a guy in CA he's not there anymore, but he was when I first, like two and a half years ago, he built a really successful cold email agency, and basically every sales call, all he would do would compare it to the cost of an SDR. He was like, they're
I know
like
that works really well.
75 grand a year, right? You probably heard that. It works. Totally works.
Yeah, I guess I should just maybe I should even ask on the calls like if they have an SDR. And then like if they do, just like literally like boom,
Yeah,
add
you
them for
should.
them.
Or you should ask them like, have you considered hiring an SDR? Have you considered hiring an in-house team to do like lead generation for you? Like basically like what would this cost to do in-house? Like what kind of resources would you have to put in-house to get whatever goal they want, 5 to 20 meetings a month or 50 meetings a month or whatever, of like how much, what would the investment be like if you guys were to do this in-house?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it is cheaper though. But I
It
guess it's
could
just
be.
like then it's just like whatever, like it's just not a fit, I guess.
Yeah,
But
it could be.
so I guess like should does pain still need to be built or built, I guess? Because like obviously,
You need
right,
one of
like
two things. You need pain or a goal. So like a goal or a reason, right? Like a reason why they want to bring someone in, a reason why they want to do it outsourced, a goal they want to get to. It's either away from pain or it's toward a goal. So you don't need like pain on every single call, but you do need like a reason, meaning something that they're trying to get away from, or a goal on every single call.
okay. Is one like more and I won't ask you questions for like 20 minutes, but like
That's
is
okay.
one more like because I feel like naturally with the way I am, I can do the solution stuff way better.
Yeah,
Like and it feels natural and like when I do it, it seems to, you know, at least make sense. But like I feel like pain is probably more effective if you can build it, would be my assumption.
it is. It's more powerful as a motivator. Like, have you
Yeah.
ever seen that study where if people win $100 in Vegas, they would have to like, they'd have to win like $200 to equal like $100 they lost?
Yeah.
Pain is, it's obviously, it's like we are much more averse to pain or bad outcomes than we are like anchored to good outcomes. So the good outcome has to be twice as good as even like the pain for it to be as motivating. So keep that in mind, but you can still close deals with like a good outcome as a desire, or just comparing it to an SDR, obviously, like you've done it. So like lean into what you're good at, use the solution selling. That's great. That'll work. But also like over the course of your business career, you want to gradually work on improving your skills at amplifying pain, quantifying the cost of inaction, dimensionalizing what they're doing now that's already not working. What is it costing in terms of time, money, people, resources, hours in order to keep them stuck, right? And not getting the exact results they want. There's always a cost. Like that's the thing to remember is they're currently investing in having the problem. Yes, they would have to invest to get the solution, but they're currently choosing to invest in having the problem. That's the money they're spending. Even they don't think about it like a cost, but you can help them see it as a cost that it really is.
So would you recommend then I just purely try to build the skill of pain building, or like should I just focus on solution because that's what I'm good at, and like sales are gonna get tossed off to somebody else eventually anyway, so I don't need to become like the best ever at sales?
You don't. You don't. You just need it to be replicable as a process, which I feel like you're already probably close to that point. Like I've seen your sales calls, the recent, like with that role play I saw you do, I was like, this is like quality, right? This is like solid for an agency owner. So yeah, I wouldn't say, I mean, you want to go with the conversation. So when it goes in a kind of an organic direction where you can see a
Mhm.
solution and you can build a solution, do that. When it goes in a direction where there's more pain, go with that, right? Like it's not a hard and fast one size fits all. It's very much like roll with the prospect, like sell the person across from you in the sense that like just respond to what they're giving you, and that's what's going to be the highest close rate ultimately.
Okay. Okay.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna ask you one last thing.
Okay, last one.
Yeah, last one. Last
No.
one. So like on this sales call, for instance, like almost immediately we got into like pain building, but I wasn't able to ask him like the qualifying questions about like does someone else need to be involved? X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So like I still did it, but it was like 25 minutes into the call, and it
Yeah.
like obviously was like not supernatural. So like, should I still go back into it? Should I just like somehow force it earlier, or
No, it's okay to ask stuff like, especially with a bigger company, the sales cycle is usually a lot longer. So you usually have multiple calls anyway. You talk to multiple people, right? There's a whole buying committee. So don't stress too much about the qualification. Obviously, like the main reason we do qualification at this level of agency is like you want to weed out the brokies, right? And weed out the people that are not serious, that are not getting started. Bigger companies can definitely afford it, obviously, as you're seeing.
yeah,
The reason you'll lose deals to bigger companies has more to do with their buying process and other vendors than it does about them not being qualified. So, like, don't be too worried about the sequencing. It is a part of the buying process and the sales process for a bigger company for you to be like, who else needs to be involved? And like, who else needs to get involved here? Is there a procurement department? Is there a buying committee? Like, is there like a C-level exec that we'll have to present to? Like ask those questions, but it's less urgent because you just have more time and you're probably going to be on their schedule anyway, not yours, because they're way
yeah,
bigger, right?
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro. Good little call. Hopefully helpful, and we
Yeah.
will continue to kill in sales.
Yeah. Keep at it, man. I'm excited for you. Good things
Thank you.
ahead.
Appreciate it. All right, bro.
Cheers.
Peace.
Later.